Okay, let's go. Got it. Record this on.
Hello, Mr. Muhammad. How are you doing?
I am fine, on top of the world, without a complaint. Every day
Yes,
above ground is a blessing.
We're certainly glad you're able to join us today on this program for NAREB, the path to wealth, homeownership, and success. NAREB has created a path for many individuals, and we like to celebrate that with successful individuals who have gone that road. And I know you are one of those pioneers, one of those successful individuals, now covering 2 territories, both Plainfield, New Jersey, and Allentown, Pennsylvania. So I think when an individual is able to start and expand his empire to cover two states, I like to think he's worthy of having a conversation with. Me and others can learn a few things from you. So let's get started with this program. The program is brought to you by the National Association of Real Estate Brokers Region 1, as well as Consumer Financial Services, serving the communities for many, many years. So let's get an understanding with Mr. Muhammad, Maurice, and I hope I can call you Maurice. Now, tell us a bit about the territory you cover and what you do in that territory as far as the services you provide.
So I am currently a real estate broker in New Jersey, licensed in 4 states, Michigan, New York, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey.
Wow.
As a licensed broker in those 4 states. Currently, I'm a broker, and I'm an REO listing agent for HUD listing broker, and as well as a housing counselor, HUD approved housing counselor for both of those areas as well. So we also are a full service real estate company with a real estate school. So which is a very important component of helping more homeowners to become more Black homeowners, to producing more Black homeowners. We can't do it without, agents that look like us. That's going to help us to get into property. So we are a full butt in seats, I like to say, real estate academy and business school in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. However, we can service all 50 states if the states. It was only 2 states as of last year that did not allow for online classes. I believe it might be down to 1 now as of last, probably a month ago or so. I believe New Jersey is going to eventually go virtual as well to make it possible for you to be able to learn your courses online. So we are a...
I said, I'm sure one of those states is Massachusetts, because they still want you to be in the classroom.
Is it? I don't know what the other state is, but it might be it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, usually I have my guests talk about themselves and the interests and their locations and their origins, but because you are such a spectacular individual in the area of business, I wanted to start off with a business concept, which we'll come back to later, because of the sort of a proliferation of information you're the information you're able to proliferate throughout your area of service. But I'd like to come back and let our guests get to know a little bit about this dynamic individual, Maurice Muhammad. How did you get started? What drew you to real estate or the industry? And how people can learn from you. Now, you have the real estate school. I'm sure that's one way, but let's talk about you personally and the example you set in your area, your neighborhood. You're a pace setter. So let's explore that pace setting capacity.
Well, I got into real estate, really, it was never my intent. I'm a licensed barber. I thought I would be standing behind my barber chair all my life, talking, shooting the breeze and talking a lot on Saturdays. Looking forward to Saturday long day, long days of cutting hair. but I bought my first piece of property in '97.
Mhm.
And I lived in the property and I rented rooms out of the property. And what I did was there was a lot of different rooms in it. Well, you can rent rooms, you can't rent rooms, you can rent rooms and you can't do it. So I decided to just go ahead and take a real estate course so I could find out the facts. And when I took the course, I realized that the real estate course was more than just a real estate class. It was really a business course, a small business course, because it taught you about contracts and a lot of the business things that one can use in business as well as real estate. Got into it, took the real estate course, and the rest is history. I never thought I would be teaching a class. Once I became a broker, I realized that there was, and this is for any of those that are going to take your broker course for the state of New Jersey. I advise and recommend take your broker course, broker class exam, schedule your instructor's exam. 24 hours later, come back and take your real estate instructor's test and get your instructor's license, because it's 5 questions. It's only 5 questions that is the difference between your brokers and the real estate instructors. Just a tip I learned from that, taking that exam. But I for me, it wasn't that my intent was to get into real estate. It was.
So it's interesting when I interview guests that I had other experiences and really no intention of getting into real estate, but then accidentally or fell into it through a friend and realized how exciting and profitable it can be as a career path, as an industry to pursue.
Absolutely.
Congratulations on your decision.
Passion.
Passion. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Passion is an exciting part of the process, because if you're passionate about it, you can do it even if you don't make money and still be happy, right?
Absolutely. It's not like work.
It's not like work, not at all.
Find what you meant to do, you never work another day in your life, right? Yeah.
Awesome. I sort of like that phrase, that statement. I've heard it a few times now, and I'm actually thinking about how I can coin it. But if you're like you said, if you're happy doing what you're doing, you never work another day. And nowadays, one of the things I do when I talk to individuals to try to provide assistance or direction, that's one of the first questions. And I hope that the audience is able to sort of think about this. What would you wake up every day and be excited to do? If you can think of what that is and doing it without getting paid, you have found your spot in life. So if you are part of this discussion with Mr. Muhammad, please give that some thought, and you will never be unhappy again as it relates to work, because you won't be working, you'll be doing something you enjoy doing. Now, Maurice, let's talk about the service. You mentioned the services you provide. Can you talk a little bit about the real estate school and how people can engage, and what's your thought on, anybody could be a real estate agent, but not anybody can be a productive real estate agent, because some people have the title and do nothing with it.
Absolutely. Tell us about that. So the attrition rate is definitely high. So there's a lot of, one of the things that, as far as the real estate, one of the things that in my class is the first thing I kind of try to make sure I put emphasis on with this, with those that we engage in the course of study together, and the students, is to always think outside the box and not necessarily just look at real estate as just, whatever their thought is, to try and just think outside of the box. And because real estate is broad, and to not just come in and just with one concept, real estate, there's the biggest thing is the deficit as it relates to us as Blacks in the real estate business. There's a deficit in commercial, there's a deficit in property management, there's a deficit in appraisers, there's a deficit in the development, I said commercial, as well as the education and brokers. Yeah. So agents in my office, I encourage them to become brokers. I want, and that's unheard of, in New Jersey. It's very, very, not common to be encouraged by brokers to become brokers if you're an agent.
But there's a man with confidence, knowledge, wisdom, and experience.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, just encouraging individuals to do other things, inside of it. Maybe have, just like if you have real estate, maybe do an inspection company or something else in addition to real estate, to help enhance it. And that's not something for everyone. Everybody's not, doesn't want to do more than one thing, but just to really broaden your horizon and do real estate a little bit different, and to be flexible, because we're in a market that's changing, and you have to be adaptable and be able to pivot, with the changes that we're facing and a lot of things that we're facing now. So one of the biggest focuses is getting more people involved in the appraisal side of things, getting more people involved in the property management. Property management looks totally a lot different than it did 5 or 10 years ago. It's a lot different. In development, those are areas that we, and a lot of times you're going to run into a lot of times. Well, where's your experience? Somebody had to start somewhere. We all have to start somewhere. So just encouraging students and just to get involved in different things, and don't be afraid to get out there and get involved and take nothing venture, nothing gain. Get with people that's willing to pour into you and willing to see you succeed. The negative people and those and the things that are negative, just run from it. The moment you hear it, just get away from it. Run from it like the plague. But
it's going in the wrong direction.
Wrong direction. Wrong direction.
Anything minus. Now the interesting thing about you, I know that you have a broad array of experience and knowledge, and to be able to share that with others, like you said, is sometimes unheard of, because we have a lot of individuals who think more of the, what they're going to lose than what they're going to gain. You know what I mean? And I know that you are one of those individuals that think of things in abundance and benefit to others. So as far as your service to New Jersey, Connecticut, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Michigan, and the other state you mentioned, and I thought I would remember them all, but
that's okay. Michigan, Pennsylvania, New York. And
New York.
You said you had it. You was Connecticut. You was there. You was right there. New York, Connecticut.
Just up a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Now, I know New York is it's a pretty broad, but it's sort of busy territory. Now, do you find that from your location that you're able to help individuals with the challenges they face with homeownership as a housing counselor?
Absolutely, because I think that component itself really helps real estate for me. Because when you deal with an individual and dealing with individuals with housing counseling and home ownership, pre-purchase home ownership, and you learn, I get to learn what people don't know, and how much individuals don't know. And so to answer your question, yes, I find it very helpful to homeowners, but it makes it more so. It helps me to see that we have a long way to go. There's a lot more that we could be doing. So it really drives me to want to educate more. Want to get more of us educated. And it's not in us first. Put the mask on yourself first. It's not about exclusion. No, it's not about excluding anyone else, but I got to put the mask on me first. So, and that's what it's about when looking out after our people. And that's why NAREB is dear to me and home for me. And it's because of the focus on us first. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm unapologetically going to look after myself and my own first. And then we can go after others. And those that want to be allies, they're allies, but they have to be part of understand the mission of the situation. You have numbers of, where the average Black person is, the numbers are anywhere between $5,000 and $6,000, depending on who's reporting it. State of Housing in Black America,
Yes.
12,000 for Hispanics and 112,000 for the average white person. Those are dire numbers. That makes it enough for one to be able to say, well, we need to focus on us first. Let's kind of get our house in order and work on and help our people to be better, because we can't compete. And one thing I learned about individuals is people will respect you when you're willing to stand and take care of your own business and take care of things for us, because it's up to us to do it. No one else is going to do it. We're not looking for anyone else to do what we can do ourselves. We have enough wealth of experience amongst us. Those of us that are professionals in our areas, to really help our people to be able to get to a better place, in whether it's buying their first home, or whether it's helping an investor, to manage his 10 or 20 homes. So, but I think it has to be about us, and you have to have a clear path and have a clear understanding of which direction we're going, and to be concerned about someone not understanding your purpose, and that I'm putting the mask on myself first, so to speak. And it's okay, and it's not excluding anyone else, but I got to put the mask on me first.
Like you said earlier, nobody is going to give you anything. You usually have to work for it. And as I heard one of my previous guests say, I don't want anything for nothing. I just want people to get out of my way so I can get what I need to get for me.
That part right there.
Yeah.
That part right there. That part.
Yeah,
that part right there. Absolutely.
It's nice to hear, folks in a position where they can express their needs. Listen, a lot of times they're individuals just, sort of who don't mind impeding your progress because they think it will impact their progress. And it's good to know that a lot of different avenues have opened up, and different thought processes and different think tanks to realize that, listen, we're all human beings. We all have needs. Some of us will excel and some of us will stay, average and ordinary, and that's okay. But for the ones that want to excel, please allow them the space to do so without, encumbrances. So, and I like that word coming from real estate, impediments, encumbrances, either one. So it's nice to know that you're one of those pioneers seeking to push open doors in order to allow your teammates, those who come along as a part of your guidance and mentorship, and the unselfish example I want to acknowledge that you're showing by saying, become a broker. Because
Absolutely.
most brokers think, okay, if you could become a broker, you're my competition. I know that that's not your thought. So,
well, you know what you find too, Mr. Phipps, is that a lot of times individuals that do become brokers, they don't even want to be that. They don't want. A lot of times they don't want the day-to-day responsibility. I found that, I learned that in my barbershop. That with I don't know how, at least two barbers that left my shop and went to open up their own. And it was easier for me in real estate to see other agents excel as a result of those experiences. It was bittersweet, each time that they, one left and went on after they worked under me, me for a while, and I showed them, but someone did that for me.
Yes.
Somebody showed me the art of barbering. It's a difference. You can cut hair, and being a barber is a totally different thing. So, it's a trade, and it's a training, and it's an art. So you don't lose, though. I guess really the point I want to make is that to help someone along the way it's a compliment to you, and those shops are standing. They look 10 times better than the shop I've had. I think,
the student should be better than his master, right?
It should be better, absolutely. It should be better. It should be better. And both of the shops that I could think of, I mean, they're much bigger, more chairs. They charge way more than we did.
I'm the
So
different.
yeah,
I'm the
yeah,
different.
yeah, man. So it's good to see that, but I can't. That human component, where you feel a type of way, you really do, but you just got
Yes,
to fight against it. You do. I mean,
yeah.
I can't say that I didn't feel a type of way when they moved on, but
Mhm.
who am I to hold someone back? But then
True.
that, but what I think what happens is you open up a different set of blessings and a
Yes,
whole different set of opportunities for you when you can embrace that and allow a person to be, not even allow, it's not really up to us to allow anyone to do anything, when you get out the way and
yeah,
you don't be that hindrance, and don't be that barrier, because you're not going to be the barrier anyway. If someone's going to do it, they're going to do it anyway.
yes, yes.
If it's their time, and if it's their time, yep. If
If
it's
it's
their
their
time,
time to
it's their
shine,
time.
the sun will hit them just like it hit you, right?
Absolutely,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
our God is sort of, he ain't big, he's not biased or bigoted. He just allows the sun to shine on everybody.
Satan even gets sun, and the rain drops hit Satan as well as
Uh, Sinners as well as the saints, right?
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody get the sunshine. So
You know, one of the things that I'm glad that you shared the thought earlier, piggyback on it and have you address it. To be a business owner, a barber can cut hair. I mean, barber can cut hair, but a business owner as a barber is a very different individual. That person has to learn to inspire, motivate, encourage, and set a good example, plus take care of the books, plus take, and
yeah.
as an individual in business, a lot of individuals who've pursued real estate that I've had a chance to talk to said, yeah, it's a business, and you can't do everything in the business. You have to be able to select things that you can do and do well, and pass off some of the things you are less deficient at, delegate those things to others so they can help you to maintain, grow, develop your business. What are your thoughts as we touch on that? Because I thought it was be essential thing to touch on for a moment.
So my thoughts on that is being honest and being able to be honest with myself. It took a long time for me to get there. I really had to be all things all the time, had to be in everything to be able, but in maturity, I had to learn, and still am learning, that I hire to my weakness. And the things I don't know how to do, I say I don't know how to do them and get out the way and allow someone else to do it. And to get out of the way and fire myself. So, and when you start a business, yeah,
That's a tough job to do, right?
you gotta fire yourself. You gotta fire yourself.
Yeah.
So when I start the business, and I'm the chief cook, the bottle washer, so the broker, the bookkeeper, the sign hanger upper, the listing inputter, all the things that until I find, but I think identifying it and calling it out, documenting what those roles are, and putting it in the business plan and putting it on paper. And as you find someone to replace you for those things, you check them off and get rid of, then fire yourself from that. That would be my advice. Fire yourself from those things that they have to get done. Every business requires, every real estate brokerage is going to require the broker, someone, because it is a shift, it's a pivot. When you're the top producer in your office, and then you have to shift to being a managing agent, there's a shift there. And some people can't do it, and that's very fine. That's okay. That's okay. But it's important that if I'm not that individual, I need to be able to be honest with myself and say, look, I need to be in the field. So let me hire someone to do the day-to-day so I can be in the field, if that's what so I think it comes down to being honest enough with who you are and knowing your strengths and my weaknesses, and growing to the point where I can look myself in the face and confront that and say, you know what, I'm not good with technology. I'm not good with paperwork. I'm not good with copying with the copy machine. So, or whatever that thing is, and accept that reality and allow the person that is good with it to do that, because they do it much faster. It's not a chore, and you can be at peace and functioning in your gift, and doing what I'm good at. So I don't have to, and it took a while to get to that point, and I'm growing into that to be able to say, all right, let me just get out the way. I don't need to do everything. I don't need to do it all. So I'm learning to play the back, and guess what? It's always okay to reset. I say, you know, with people, sometimes you're having a bad day. If it's 12 o'clock midnight, you can start your day over at 11:59. Even if you're about to go to sleep, if it takes you,
give up a few minutes to get it done. Get it done.
Hey, just reset. You know, reset. Start your day over, and that's the same thing in business. You know, the stigmas of, you know, well, I'm too old, or I've been in business this long, so I should be. Nope. It's okay. One thing I don't mind saying is I don't know something. One thing is I don't mind saying, you know, I don't know, because if I don't know, you're going to know I don't know it.
Mm-hmm.
So why act like I know it? You know, so I think that, and that's helpful, because when you can approach a thing from a place of honesty, I think you're in a much more powerful place. You have more power behind you.
You know, I heard, I was in a conference one time and I heard the speaker say, as you know, if you have the ability to make $500 an hour, that will make you a millionaire in a year if you look at a normal work week. Mm. He said, and if you take your $500 hour position and spend it on a $25 hour position, he said, you need to lose every penny you have.
Absolutely right. Wow. Wow.
That was quite an eye-opener.
But powerfully true.
Yeah.
Powerfully true. Man.
Now, I know that we talked about real estate, we talked about counseling and helping people with counseling. And you're part of a very unique organization. Mm-hmm. That serves the entire country. Mm-hmm. And that organization is National Association of Real Estate Brokers, which is different from the National Association of Realtors. Would you care to spend a few minutes telling us a little bit about the National Association of Real Estate Brokers and why it is such a unique organization in your workspace and life?
So NAREB for me was one of those things, like, I knew I was home the moment I went to the first national convention. Mm-hmm. For one, to see people, and not just in the best of what Black real estate has to offer. Mm-hmm. Hands down, anywhere you go, the cream of the crop is in NAREB. You have yourself, individuals like yourself. I look forward to, you know, having conversations with yourself and just the countless others that have paved the way and have in their own area. You know, real estate is a local, right? And yes, we have this wealth of information in individuals. For me, it's so powerful is that because it gives me the opportunity to be able to pick up the phone. I spoke to somebody in California today talking about some development projects and things, but I could pick up the phone and call and speak to someone and get guidance, and we can share information from another clean across the country at any time, and they'll answer the phone and give you information. So that's one of the member benefits of being a member of NAREB, you know, of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, and to rub elbows with individuals that have the spirit of service, just like you do, and individuals that's willing to pour into you and not looking for anything in return. Now, of course, if there's a referral at the other side of it, they're gonna want their referral commission, of course.
Of course, that's
it's
normal business. Normal business,
but you know, but that's business. But you know, not looking for something in return. You know,
but they're willing to share the knowledge and experience they have.
Absolutely.
You know,
That in itself is big.
you know, one of the things, and I won't put in any names, but I know that NAREB has some billionaires inside the organization. And you know, people look at professionals in real estate, you know, as though they have, you know, as though they're the bottom of the ladder, really, but not realizing that there's so much that the organization has to offer in its people and its training, its opportunities. I know, you know, and I'll say this, come out of character for a minute as the interviewer. I remember many years ago, as a member of NAREB, buying my first house, my first condominium, and it's still in my family today. I bought it for my daughter. And she still owns that, although she owns other property today, for $48,000. Wow. Now, you never know when those opportunities are going to pop up.
Right.
But if you can be in an organization that gives you an opportunity like that, why would you not consider being a part of it? You know? And I know you said earlier you're in the REO space. Now, many people in your community, I'm sure, benefit from you being an REO broker because the assets are there, reasonably priced, competitively priced, for them to take advantage of. So, you know, I see the opportunity in NAREB as a win-win for a win-win-win. Win for community, win for membership, and win for the businesses that we serve. So I'd really like you to share a little bit more about how you engage, how you're able to engage community or members, real estate professionals, or people interested in coming to the industry as a member of NAREB. You know, I know part of that is a school, but do you do other things in community to excite people to consider the realty spirit? And if so, what are those?
So one of the things that I do and always have done is, well, I'm a part of the founding membership, one of the founding members of the Lehigh Valley chapter of NAREB and in the Lehigh Valley. So when I first got here to the Lehigh Valley, I think we were a population of 8% Black here, and maybe 12% Hispanic. So one of the things is really keeping that chapter alive and doing anything with other chapters. So right now, we're pushing now for membership drive with collectively with Philly, with Harrisburg, with Pittsburgh now, and it's always been this East Coast, it's always been all of us here, you know, New Jersey, New York, Philadelphia, and that tri-state Eastern Seaboard area. So one of the things now that we've just talked about is really combining and really pooling our resources and working together collectively and attempting to do that, something that we haven't done as much and taking advantage of that as much, so that we can do. So if one person's event becomes everyone's event, that way not everybody has to do, no one person has to do a lot. So, really to just push our area to get our numbers up. We're working on doing we're in the CE season. For New Jersey, CE is coming up now. Pennsylvania CE will be coming up in another year. So we're in the CE season, and Realtors Week is coming up. So one of the things we're doing is we're pushing CE classes, making CE classes available for non-members, and members, making it very cost-effective to no cost, and then very cost-effective to non-members as a member drive, because NAREB sells itself. Once you're a member and you get there, you don't have to do much. It sells itself. Because of the education component, because it's an organization that's ordained. That's just my belief, 100%. It's meant we are, we are the Black voice in real estate. Nobody can do what we do. A lot of time, duplicated, often imitated, never duplicated, right? But
There's a big
nobody,
credit in there.
nobody can do what we do. And
Yep.
that, I mean, there's attempts to constantly try to steal the shine and try and undermine and usurp it and come after it. But it's just something about those that look like you being able and willing to do what it takes to help your fellow man to get to the other side of the transaction, whether that person is an agent or whether that person is an end user, a buyer. And the same thing applies. If you're a broker, your role is to help that agent get that buyer to the other side of the transaction. If you're an agent, your role is to get the buyer to the other side of the transaction. So I hope I answered the question.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Sure.
and yeah, the NAREB spirit. I know you bleed NAREB blue. Because you always see your stuff coming across, and I just feel like I'm a part of it. And you always have that way of making a person feel like they're a part of. You never leave nobody out. You don't feel like alienated. You feel like you're at home. And I get your stuff. So
Thank you, my friend.
yeah.
NAREB is such a wonderful organization, and I'm glad that there are people like you that make it such a special place to be. And I certainly enjoy being part of that. I'm going to ask you, we're coming down to we're closing, but
Wow,
I don't want
that
to
was
leave.
fast.
Huh?
That was fast.
No, well, you shared a lot. I don't want to leave without having you sort of speak to one or two things that you would share with the audience. And before I get to that, I'd say this is a great time regards to what the economy is doing or what banking is doing. This is a great time if you have an interest in becoming a homeowner to reach out to Mr. Muhammad or his team, because many institutions across the country see, understand, and feel the need, and they're providing resources to enable people of color, disadvantaged individuals, people in underserved communities. So it's more than just people, the Black population, but all underserved communities where people want to reach out and become homeowners can do so. And institutions have resources set aside to enable you now. So whether it's the Northeast, the Southeast, the Midwest, the Southwest, Southeast, wherever you are, as you receive this message, talk to a real estate agent in your neighborhood, a realtist.
Yes.
A realtist in your neighborhood, and ask them to help you find the resources for your down payment, to help you get a house. They can refer you to the NID counseling if you need some help with credit. They can refer you to a lot of different resources that will enable your homeownership opportunity. And I know I'm going to leave Mr. Muhammad with the final word in this. So, Maurice, what would you like to say to the audience?
So I think just to turkey back off of what Mr. Phipps said, I would say that it is still a good time to buy. Reach out to a realtist in your area. We are definitely, it's a national organization. Reach out to someone. You can go to the website, and the option to drop down, in the drop down, you can find a realtist that's close or nearby you, or reach out to someone. And if you can't find anyone on the website, you can reach out to someone that is a realtist, and they'll be more than happy to help you in contact with someone to help you buy. Like Mr. Phipps said, he talked about down payment assistance. There are programs for veterans. There are programs. There's money available for rural areas. There's so there's programs and opportunities that are available for you if you want to purchase a home. Things are tight, and things are dire, and things are tightening up. One thing for certain though is, as things get harder, that's when you should ramp it up and really do more. Because the tighter things get, the darker the hour is the greatest opportunities. That's the greatest time for opportunities. For your best opportunities is when things get, seem to be at their worst. So, I can be reached at 484-894-8100. You can also reach me at progressiverealty.org. That's my website. I'm on social media, on Facebook at Progressive Realty or Maurice Muhammad 2.0. I also wrote a book on property management. It's called Property Management 2.0. I'm working on getting it on Audible now, so it'll be an audio read right now. It's on Amazon. You can pick it up. It's called Progressive 2.0. I'm sorry, Property Management 2.0. So definitely have a couple others in the pipeline. I want to do something on commercial, and I really want to do something on just speaking on the inspiring individuals that may not feel that they can do it and may not feel that they can get in the business because of past discrepancies, because of criminal life, maybe things that happened in your past and when you were younger. Everybody has a past, and don't let those things stop you. You can definitely become a professional, and you can become licensed. So I would just encourage you to just don't let anyone tell you you can't do something. I would encourage you to keep pushing, and to there's something you feel that you have a desire to do, just do it. Don't let anyone stop you. And if you're looking to buy, wherever you are, we are a national organization. It doesn't matter what state you're in. You can give one of us a call, and we'll put you in contact with a realtor in your area or close to you, or put you in good hands and stay with you along the way until the process is over. A lot of us are brokers. You'll find that a lot of the realtors in our NAREB are real estate brokers. And there's a difference. There's a difference between realtors and realtors. There's a difference between being a realtor and a realtist. I don't know if I said that there's a difference between being a realtor and a realtist, but I'm going to say. And there's a difference between a broker and an agent. So a person that's a broker has to take a little additional training and have been in the business for, usually it's a 3-year period, and then they go on and take another test to become, and an agent has to work in a broker's office. So the experience level is going to be a little bit more. So you're in good hands. That's all I would say. I want to thank you for the opportunity to be on your show, and thank you for having me. And hopefully something was shared that would help someone and help your audience. And we're just here to serve. And you can find us. You can find me on those platforms that I mentioned. Mr. Phipps, sure you can find him on his platforms. And that's what we're here. We're here to serve our community and to help our people put the face masks on us first, the oxygen masks on us first.
Here we go. Maurice, thanks for being such a wonderful guest. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you sharing. You're an awesome pioneer. You're a man that I admire in many ways for the work you do and the outreach you do for your communities, and the way the passion you exude as part of that process. Keep the good work up. And I would like you to mention your number again, so that if somebody got to the end, they don't have to play it back to get the number. And I know you can do that for me. Yes, sir. 484-894-8100. That is 484-894-8100. I'm also on Facebook at Maurice Muhammad. Facebook at Maurice Muhammad 2.0. So you can reach me at 484-894-8100. Progressive Realty is the name of my company. Thank you, Mr. Phipps. You're welcome. Thanks for being here. We really appreciate you. Keep the good work up. Keep sharing. And I know you inspire and help hundreds of people continue that, so we can look to a time when homeownership in America increases and people have legacies with actual money behind them. We're all about on the same page, or even able to be proud of the legacies that they leave, rather than being at 8,000 or 5,000 when other individuals are at 100,000 plus. So we want to help. Okay. Until next time, have a great time, a great season, and do well. NAREB looks to you to become a part of their organization. Share, learn, win.